We're here. You ready to go then, Christine?
Let's do this.
All right. Well, that was a absolute fucking shit show, and I definitely not want to die. Welcome to the Get Reelisms Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam Chase Rennie.
And I am Christine Chen. And we are on the podcast.
We are back at it. We are back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we are back. I'm just trying to get my bearings. Yeah, so it's been a crazy couple weeks. Last week we had an awesome guest, filmmaker of documentary, sweet documentary, Cat Daddies. And you've been working in Austin, right, Christine?
Yes, I've been all over
happening?
the place.
What's been going on?
In tech. So I was first in Shreveport, Louisiana. Filmed a short film there that its name is still being determined. At the moment, it's shifting between two names, Jamgasm and Shits and Gigs. Those are the two names that keep shifting between. Some days I'll think Jamgasm's the way to go. Some days it'll be Shits and Gigs. As you can tell, those names, boys can be a little bit inappropriate, so which is on purpose. And it's just which one is less inappropriate that will affect us if we do festival rounds, basically.
Right.
And then after Shreveport, this was June 4th and 5th were the shoot dates. And then I was there on the 6th to do wrap out. And then I ended up in Waco, Texas on the 7th, where I prepped and we started shooting. Oh, I lied. That was the original plan. No, I didn't go directly to Waco. That was originally planned, but I ended up going to Austin. So I hung out in Austin from the 7th all the way to the 11th. I left on the 12th to go to Waco to prep in Waco for the second short film, which still we can't figure out a name, but it temporarily on the script is called Catan because it's based off of the board game Catan, but we're definitely not naming that. Stuff like that, but it was 2-day shoot, all in one location, shot in Waco, so that was the 13th and the 14th. And the next day, the 15th, I bright and early left and came to South Lake, which is near Dallas, basically, Dallas, Texas, where I am currently editing a documentary that my co-producer and I, Marcia Skinner, who is a friend of the podcast, we have been working on filming for the past, I guess it's been about a year, about a year-long process. So now we've been reviewing the footage, and it's a lot of footage, but despite there being a lot of footage, there's still never enough footage. We are exploring it being so the documentary transgender right gender community as well, and it started with that's her stage name, and she is a drag queen out of Dallas, Texas, and now we're seeing that this is a much bigger subject. And there are many things that we can cover, and it's starting to grow like a monster in a good way. It's eating at 6 p.m. We're actually just doing a impromptu interview, and I call this the discovery period with a possible my friend, colleague, Laura. It's interesting because it's a different perspective. I shoot with Laura, so it's been interesting for me now getting used to the. So now being in that, now the tables have turned, and now it's been interesting feeling and experiencing what it's like to know somebody as a different gender, and now as a different gender from what you previously knew them as, and experiencing how I deal with it as well. I mean, I totally agree with it. It's more just like habit, right?
Right.
Getting used to saying their new name instead of their old name, and thinking about them in their new gender versus their old gender. So it's all very interesting. But yes, this is a discovery period because I just want to make sure whoever comes and is a part of our documentary that they feel comfortable being themselves and feel comfortable being in the spotlight, because we are not going to just talk about happy, sparkly things in life. This process is a difficult one, and we hope that through the documentary we can shed light for people going through the process as well, that are going through the ups and downs of transitioning. So yeah, so that's where I am right now. And I've been here since like I said, the 15th. And tomorrow I'm on a plane to Colorado to see family. So not
Hell
work,
yeah.
but I will be editing my other short probably.
Right.
Yes. So that's where I am at. Yes. How about you?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about my stuff. But so with everything going on with you, are you going to be moving on to another project after Colorado?
No, I'll probably be back again here in Dallas at some point. That's what we're trying to figure out right now. We are due another interview because the last time we interviewed our subject was back in February of this year. So a few months has passed. So it's time for another interview. But
sure.
The issue is most non-film people don't understand that the process takes a while. And so it would behoove us to have something, a sizzle, to show that, hey, we're not like messing around and wasting people's times. So I that part of the goal this round was to try to get a sizzle edited so that we can show people, hey, things are happening, it's just taking some time. So we're at a good place. There's just a lot of footage to go through, and I have to have a better grasp of the whole picture before I can do justice to the sizzle. So there's also something to be said about just releasing something too early as well. But given many things that have happened in the past few months, including, I think this was last week, the federal government shot down the attempt to ban drag shows in Tennessee, which is a win for the LGBTQIA community. So given some of our political climate right now, this is a great time to time out a sizzle to come out with such a subject, because our main subject, Ruby, is, like I said, a transgender male or female who is still a drag queen. So very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel?
Yeah, and after that, I don't know. After that, supposedly there is a possible feature happening in Shreveport.
Nice.
But again, films are films and films, and there's delays and nothing's ever set. So I don't know. It's very possible that I might be on my way home to LA. It has been about a month already.
Yeah.
So that I've been gone from LA, and that is kind of where I do live. And so I may end up back there, or I may end up staying here a lot longer than planned. So we'll see where the wind blows.
Right. But you're probably going to be getting back to it in LA fairly soon, which will probably be nice because you'll be back home and back to your own digs and stuff like that. Must be nice. Must be cool.
No. Yeah, it's just a lot of the slow that's been due to the writer's strike that's still going on right now.
Yeah.
COVID. Solidarity with the writers, and that they will come to a good conclusion, a good negotiation for their updated contracts, because times change and how we have consumed content has changed, and therefore how people pay for content has changed, but the contracts haven't changed since the new ways of streaming and new content platforms have come out. So this makes sense. But then again, I just read that SAG has extended when they're going to go on strike because they're in negotiations right now. June 30th is when their contract officially expires, and they have until July 1st, I think. July 1st, they're allowed to start striking if negotiations do not yield the results that they want. So, which then could, again, extend my time here in Texas. It's hard to say.
Right. Well, because it would just prevent you at all from working in LA, because you would be crossing picket lines in a way, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to catch it.
SAG it's run by SAG.
Yeah.
And if you have any dreams of being a working professional actor, more than likely that means you will need to join SAG. And from my understanding with current members of SAG is very strict about that. And so even if you aren't a SAG member, during the point of the strike, you maybe do a non-union gig or whatnot, SAG has every right to remember that you did that during the strike and blacklist you from joining your SAG projects. So that's why things come to a halt when SAG decides to strike.
Yeah. Because they're the main focus in front of camera, you know? You're gonna need them at some point. Yeah, it's all fairly interesting. Have you heard anything about the DGA, if that's ever going to?
I know the DGA came to it. I don't know what that agreement is. I haven't delved into it deeply just because I'm not in the DGA yet. So I have too many things distracting me at the moment. However, yes, to my knowledge, the DGA will not strike. They have reached a negotiation that they are happy with. So the DGA at this point will not strike, to my knowledge. The only other pending is SAG, and we will know July 1st what that is going to be. So
gotcha.
And of course, WGA has not come to any form of mutual agreement. So who knows how long that will be.
Right. Yeah. So it all is depending on each other at this point.
Yes, it is all in limbo, which is the name of the film industry. Constant limbo.
Yeah.
we exist in a state of limbo. That is, I feel like that could be a definition of what the film industry is the film industry. Working in the film industry means that you are in a constant state of limbo, and how you're able to survive is how flexible and how much you can adapt to that constant state of limbo. Will you flow like water, or will you hit a wall and not be able to go on?
I'll tell you one thing though. Once that green light hits, it's fucking go time, dude. It is like balls to the fucking wall. We're working the midnight oil. We're burning every fucking candle at both ends and stuff, you know. But it's always about like the wait. Oh, this is a maybe.
Hurry up and wait.
There's a maybe, and then the next week, wait. There's a maybe. Wait. Okay, go. No. Run. Pre-production. You know, it's like everything has to go at 100 miles an hour once it hits. you know?
Yep.
And it sucks
And
because you have to like completely rearrange your life. And some people like that's a lot for some people. And I worked with this this one PA. This was a while ago. This was like a year ago. And she was just not at all prepared for like what she calls the all of a suddenness, which is like just everything just like happens all at once. And there's like not enough room for you to even like process everything. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like how it usually goes. I mean, you know, like it's even shittier for like people like with a smaller budget and of the art department with like no time whatsoever to prepare. It's like, well, okay, I guess I'm going to go on Facebook and start asking a whole bunch of people if they have shit, and I'll just ransack their homes, you know? So,
you're right. That's the end of the game. It's a hurry up and wait.
And some people, go ahead. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just say, because it's such a hurry up and wait, that is a big reason why I decided to use this time to make my own stuff. Because I know once we're back, it might be a long period of time before I will have a break again, you know? So,
I mean, yeah, and I guess now is the best time of any to do it with the strike happening nowadays and stuff. Which I mean, I don't know as how far like the writer strike affects like the independent the indie scene across the country, but I would assume it's a little bit. There's a little bit of residualness, you know. Which I don't know if
because I was going to explain. I think I did this a while ago when there was another strike, which is IATSE. But in this case, the reason why it affects anything is because it's always a trickle down effect, right? So when writers are on strike, those productions they're on hold. And when those productions are on hold, the people who work on those productions are on hold for their own financial well-being. So then if they're on hold and aren't spending money, then they probably won't be devoting time to their own creative projects. So then that starts siphoning the indie projects that might come out, because that locations manager who also is a director is probably not going to be, you know, spending money making their own pet projects, and then, you know, which is the indie stuff. So it is all a trickle down effect to an extent, for sure. Yeah, but we'll see. But it's important. I don't want any listeners out there to think that we're complaining about this, because we understand, we're in solidarity with it. We're just saying that this is why things are feeling slower right now within the film industry. So
well, and I think we mentioned this before, but usually around this time, I'm pretty sure we mentioned this before. Around this time, like in the middle of summer, is usually like kind of like a dead zone, at least for the Austin scene. There's really not a whole ton going on, I guess, normally in Texas in general, as a whole. But it's usually just kind of comes into like a dwindling halt, but not really. Like there's some people who can pick up a gig, and like there's some commercials that come and go, but you know, ultimately it's not like, you know, consistent and whatnot. So this is like kind of, I don't want to say panic time, but it's definitely like, oh, we're doing some belt tightening time. That's for sure. Yes. At least for me, you know.
It's like, how can we minimize our spend time? This is our subscriptions and see if we really need that subscription time. This is do we cancel that gym membership that we haven't gone to time? You know,
that too, and then you know the hidden apps that you didn't even know you paid for some of them. You're just like, wait, what the fuck? They've been siphoning $15 away from my bank account and I had no idea. I can use that, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it serves its own set of purpose. I mean, I was able to I mean, yeah, I can mention it here. I was able to finish my script finally.
Mhm.
So this has been,
Congratulations, yes.
3 years in the main. Well, it's been technically longer than that, but yeah, there's some sort of purpose when it comes to like having these times, and it makes me understand what my goals are. You know what I mean? And it
Yes.
seems like every single summer I kind of get reminded of that, which is kind of funny.
Absolutely.
It's almost like 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 when you have like a doctor's appointment and
Mhm.
you see it on the calendar and it gets closer and closer. At least for me, I always hated going to the doctor. So like every time I see that day get closer, I'm just like, fuck, damn it. Oh my God, I don't have any time. I have no time at all. Oh no. Or I'm not going to be able to make anything around this time, which is not entirely true. Like I do make some money, so I'm not doing horrible, but it's still kind of scary times nowadays. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, but at least it gives you time with all these free moments that you can have to just do the fucking thing that you want to do, man. And
Great.
let that, I mean, it's not going to pay you anything, but at least it's something that you love doing, and maybe somewhere in the future it might pay off tenfold.
Yes.
It gave me,
It's a conundrum.
it's a conundrum, but
This,
like, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that this is a natural process, and it is what creatives have to fight with. My friend Carl mentioned actually very recently. He's like, so basically, you have to keep creating things, but so many of the things that you need time, that downtime to be able to create things. But
Right.
then you aren't making money.
No.
So you basically can't survive either.
No.
So it's like you need time where you do nothing so that you can create. But when you do nothing, you don't make money. Therefore, how do you resolve and come to a nice balance for that? So and that is what every creative struggles with all the time.
Which I got to tell you, like as depressed as I was back in early 2020 when I lost my car, it definitely did help me just like get fucking serious with at least like this script and whatnot. Because before then, what was funny is that like before then, I barely touched the script. Like I barely even had an outline. I worked with a writing mentor at the time. Christine was my directing, producing mentor, and then I had another mentor, screenwriter mentor of the same vocational film school, and that process was like early 2019. And I finally finished the script now. So actually 4 years technically at some point. But I mean, it is what it is. Like it gives you these moments, like this free time to like, do what you got to do. It served its own set of challenges, but like it's almost like humanity giving you little like hints of like truth and like some breather moments to realize, but like really like just those kind of like those epiphany moments where you're just like, oh, if I don't do the thing that I've said I was going to do, I'm just never going to do it. So I might as well do it now. I might as well just keep fucking going. Despite the fact that like there's going to be some days where you're going to be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm not making any money. This story sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. But as long as you maintain the idea that you have a good story or you have something really, really something to tell, a story to tell, I think it will find a way.
Definitely. And I think that's,
and I believe in it. I believe in my story for sure. So we'll see where it goes. I hope it goes somewhere, but I can never be always so optimistic about it. Despite the fact that I do want to be optimistic, and
But your natural state of mind is not optimism.
Yeah, and at some point I had an idea. Yeah, my natural state is it. Well, it depends. It depends where my natural state is, but I would say a lot of times I am pretty happy. Today I wasn't because I was about to break my computer in half. But like usually I'm always like happy go lucky and I'm ready to like get creative and get wild. And especially when you work in the art department, when you work in crew, there's a lot less pressure and so much more room to just like have a good time. You know what I mean? And despite the fact that you barely have any time to do any of that, you can still,
that must be nice.
Yeah, no, you barely have, but you get these little moments where you can hang out with the crew and shoot the shit and have fun. And then, you got the rap parties and then say, oh my gosh, I hope we work together again. And then don't see each other for another year. But, yeah, because you don't realize how big the film industry here in Austin is until you actually work it, and you're like, oh shit, actually, I'm meeting new people. The fuck, holy fuck. But anyways, yeah. So I think this is a good time to do the things that I want to do, and hopefully it goes somewhere. That's all I can say.
That's all you can do is just be optimistic and hopeful. And I think the key to it is to continue to work at it despite not seeing any immediate tangible results.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm glad you brought this up because like I kind of want to do. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't want to call it a documentary, but like, yeah, I guess its own separate podcast / documentary about this entire process, because I've always thought it would be interesting to like, this is a first screenplay for me. And I mean, like, what a interesting perspective to just, kind of do a podcast as often as I possibly can to just like talk about all these things that I'm going through in terms of like writing. I'm doing storyboards right now. I have so much to talk about with storyboards. Holy shit. Storyboards are insane. And also I found a neat little program too. So like there's so many things.
What program?
Procreate.
Procreate.
It's on the iPad. I have it on an iPad. Yeah. It makes it easier for me to like, instead of doing it like, because at first I was doing it by like pen and paper and I was like scanning them to like, like the notes app and stuff like that to just like have like these random ass like storyboards. And I realized that it was just like, it was clogging up my notes and I wasn't really like, organizing them in any way. So Procreate allows me to just like kind of have this like canvas of doing whatever the fuck I want to do. It's basically like Illustrator meets Photoshop, but streamlined, I guess.
Okay.
I know so many people are going to be really like, cool. You are out of your fucking mind for making that comparison. But like, I don't know. It feels like it's the closest comparison to me.
It looks like you have to do the actual sketching though. Are you a drawer?
No, I'm not. That's the thing. It's like, so I found these storyboard templates on I forgot what website. It was like on Reddit. It was like on a screenwriting subreddit. And there was this guy who like was like, hey, I'm doing some like storyboards and stuff like that, like on Procreate and Illustrator or some shit like that. It's like, I have these templates. If you guys want to use them, here you go. And just like shared a PNG. And it's like this, like just regular ass, like, storyboard thing. Like just like, but it's one frame. And you can make duplicates. So like you can make duplicates of however many. And the cool thing about the Procreate app is that you can divide all of your work and you can stack them. So like you can have one stack of like the first act, you can have a whole another stack of the second act, and then another stack of the third act. And these are like, and I'm not a drawer at all, by the way. Like I am 100% not a drawer. So the thing that I wanted to keep in mind with doing this storyboard is that I don't want to take more than 5 minutes per frame, because if I take longer than that, I don't really have a vision for that frame, and I just got to skip it and move on to the next one, you know? So I don't spend more than 5 minutes, and it's just simple pencil sketch. It could be a stick figure. Sometimes there's stick figures. Sometimes, like, if I have like a medium shot of like somebody like from the torso up, I do have like the profile and stuff, but like nothing so fucking crazy that I'm like, it is, you know, it's not that it's illegible, but it's definitely not a masterpiece either. You know what I mean?
Sure.
These are quick sketches because the idea of it all is to show this idea and to show what I have in frame in my mind, but also that's definitely subject to change, right? Because, you know, any time this happens, you know, shit will always happen no matter what, and changes will be made. So I can easily go back into the Procreate app, grab those frames, shuffle the layers, and then start anew again. And then as I'm working, I can like blend the other layers of like what I had previously. So I'm not like so far off the beaten track, or like I actually have like a guideline. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So like I know exactly what I'm supposed to look for and the changes that I need to make, especially in script. So like if I'm making the changes in script, then I can just pop right back to the storyboards, and I can just easily draw it out, you know, layered it up, and then, you know, repeat essentially. So
that's super cool. Yeah, I've never heard of Procreate. I just
it is. I hope I'm not like just fucking rambling. But
no, this is interesting.
I thought it would be pretty fascinating to like, you know, do some sort of like, I don't know, like, I mean, I'm gonna definitely do the periodic updates here on the podcast, and hopefully it works. And also, you know, maybe by the next time we do the podcast, Christine will have read this script and then will tell me to my face that it is a piece of shit.
I wouldn't do that.
No, but of course, like any criticism is absolutely fair. So even if you did say it's a piece of shit, I would know it's probably valid in some way, shape, or form. So
notice that Wade, who we interviewed about Mer People, temporarily joined the live IG. So
yeah, right on.
Watched the series. I loved it so much. So, anyways.
Well, we are a little over. We're about to hit 5:30, and we're just a little over 35 minutes. So this has been a great episode. Yeah. How do I end the episode again? I'm kidding. I know what I'm doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, did you think we ever forget that we are the Get Reelisms Podcast? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Get your book. Hat's not available yet, is it?
Not yet. I need to put it in there.
But look at this sweet ass prototype, though.
I like it. Yes,
I
think
love
the part
this
I want
hat.
to. I want to change. It says yes. It would be. Melissa says yes. It would be fascinating to walk us through your work. Yes. Oh,
thank you. Sure.
You're interested in my documentary as well. Awesome. Yeah. No. Adam, we should always check in and see where your process is at, and tell us what's working and what doesn't work, what's frustrating you. Because this is all a mental game as well. Yeah, my documentary, yes, about transgender, the process of transitioning. Because Ruby, during the interview, multiple times basically told us that there's a gap of information that's missing currently right now in the public for those who are transitioning. There's not really a lot of content that shows the mental process and anguish and of reaching the point of being able to transition, and also doing the process of transitioning, how that affects your body and how that affects your mental state. And so we're documenting that basically, and hoping that wherever this goes, you know, if all else fails, my co-producer and I, Marsha, have already said that we would be happy to just release it on YouTube and hope that it might help someone. Yeah, we're not sure where it's going to go. I mean, in an ideal world,
that would be fascinating. That would be
a full-on series,
right?
But you know, as we know, the distribution is a black hole. So, and completely unpredictable. So, if it means that we just put out what we have shot, and as long as it helps someone out there, we're happy with that, right? So, yeah, so we're just documenting people's journeys and mindsets, because what Ruby pointed out is, if you go and Google like transitioning and stuff, what you'll usually see is just people who have already transitioned, who are happy within their bodies and are talking about how great their transitioning process was for them. And that makes sense. Most people don't want to document themselves at their lowest point and at their most
vulnerable and emotional.
They don't feel exactly the most emotional point, or their most ugly state of mind, and so that's why there's a missing gap with that content, because most people don't, most of us don't like it when someone is shoving a camera in our faces and we're crying our eyes out. It's a very personal,
it's uncomfortable
and very uncomfortable. Yes. So yeah, so we're just navigating that. But I will also continue to update as that process goes. But yes, Adam, you should also update as your writing process continues. So yeah, because it is that's why Ursley was such a therapeutic thing to do through the podcast, because talking through the process, and then I think the most powerful for me has been going back and listening to some of the old podcasts, and finally being able to have some sort of reflection and perspective of what happened in the past. Because when you're in it, you just can't see beyond.
Yeah, you're swimming in it. Yeah, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, you're not. You can't predict the future. You can't. So
you were just trying to get to bed. You were just trying
to survive. So it is fun to go back and listen and be like, I wish I knew that I would get funding later, and I would be so stressed out and sad and freaked out and stuff when funding got, so.
Yeah, no.
It's going to be the same process with you with writing.
Yeah, I hope so, and I definitely want to get those updates on that documentary, because it seems like it's very, very crucial and very important nowadays, especially with how scary everything has been. We don't need to get through it, but it's been a scary time the last couple of months, especially for the transgendered community, and I can only imagine how difficult it is, especially living in this state in Texas. So, so I think you're doing great things, Christine. I can't wait to hear more updates. And I think that's about it, ladies and gentlemen.
The Get Reelisms Podcast. Everyone.
That's been the Get Reelisms Podcast. I have to 10-1, and hopefully next week we will be back again. Was there anything else you want to say, Christine?
That's it. Be sure to check out getreelisms.com if you want to book. And then we still talk about Ursley, and it's still out there, so please go watch it. Right now we're looking for people to review the film honestly. So Melissa, watch it. We would love for you to go on IMDb to write a review, because that all affects this magical thing called SEO. And I get logarithms. And so when people see that that people continue to watch and give reviews, it amplifies the film and makes it, show up on people's feeds more. And so that's where we are right now, is encouraging people to support independent films and to support a lot of, not just Ursley, but several of the other filmmakers that we've had in this series of our podcast, Campfire Chats, to go and watch and support other independent films.
Yeah. And that's all we can say, is just support your local filmmakers. That's about it. Thank you so much, Instagram. Thank you so much, Facebook. We love you. And that's a wrap. See you guys next time. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Bye, Melissa. Thank you so much.